Wow, I just saw this found footage movie that I think some people are going to really love. This movie kicks ass. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of found footage, the making of the Patterson Project. Very serious. Not a serious movie, though. So this is a movie that is about a crew of documentarians who are following this film crew. This guy is like a young guy. He's made some really schlocky, silly, ridiculous short films, and now is his big time to make the final feature film, the one that's going to save the world and be the most scary found footage film ever made. And his choice of antagonist? Bigfoot. Now, we've seen our share of found footage Bigfoot films, but have you seen a found footage Bigfoot film that is being filmed by a documentary that changes everything by the end of the movie? I was cheering and clapping and just having a really fucking good time. When I say this movie kicks ass, this movie fucking kicks ass. Now, obviously, comedy is subjective, and I do realize that sometimes people have a weird issue with trying to deal with comedy and horror. Some people just want a serious film, some people don't. This is definitely to be fun and have a good time, but it does have some elements in the movie that are done in a very serious nature, or at least at a higher level of, like, you know, movie making when it comes to the horror elements in it. The movie is more of a comedy, so I don't want to like throw you off that way, but there is definitely some blood and fun by the end of this movie, so stick around. Now, it is a 3-act structure, so somewhere in about the second act onto the third, you're going to be like, what is going on here? The director of this movie, Max Tzannes, has actually done another film called It Too, which is a movie with Lou Diamond Phillips and Malcolm McDowell that is, I don't know if it's out or it's coming out. They kind of made them together, so be on the lookout for that if you are interested. I certainly am. After watching this found footage movie, I'm all about it. Some of the things that they did in this movie, I really feel were really kind of ingenious. Now, there's a group of 3 of them that made this movie and this concept and this idea. There's 3 filmmakers. I don't know which ones they are necessarily. I know Max Tzannes is one of them, and I believe David San Miguel is one of the writers as well. They both wrote the film of this one, but there's 3 of them that make films, and so they're kind of like working together on this. The things that they do in the film is to kind of write very close to the chest, it seems like to me, because they're making a film about a documentarian group who is documenting a film group, and all the little hurdles and things that you would kind of come across when you're a filmmaker, they kind of put in this movie, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And I think they do a really like good job with like making it authentic as far as how the woes of filmmaking are. And it just adds to some of the comedy because, you know, getting into situations while making a movie and the ones that they get into are actually pretty funny. Not that I'm like, you know, this big filmmaker, but I just know there's always some problems whenever you do, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And they do a really good job of that. It feels very authentic, as well as the comedy and the horror elements that are in this movie. Tropey stuff, but it's more to do a subversion of that trope. The way that they deal with some of the more serious elements in this film is really funny to me because they kind of try to blow things off, you know, like to try to just get on with the show and do the filmmaking. So it all sort of plays in together in this one big crazy meta film that goes places that I just had a blast watching. It really truly is a fun movie, and even if you don't absolutely love the film, you're gonna like it, I think, in some degree. You'll just appreciate at least the creativity that they put into this film. I know I was cheering, like I said, by the end of the movie. I was like, yeah! And that's saying something. By the end of the movie, if you're by yourself cheering for something, That's a pretty good sign. And I'm not gonna lie, this movie is definitely going on my list for the year at some level. I don't know where it's gonna end up, but for now, what I've seen so far, it's definitely being included, and I'll have to situate it somewhere. Now, I will say I was a little skeptical because the Bigfoot element or whatever, but I was kind of like hanging on to that comedy element a little bit more, and I got a lot more than I expected. Now, there is a Bigfoot in the movie, but I don't want you to think that... I don't know how to explain this because it's very difficult to explain this movie without ruining the best parts about it. It's really just a film that you need to just go in and experience for yourself instead of listening to some chubby guy tell you what he thinks of it. Honestly, I really truly enjoyed this film, and it is definitely one of my favorite films of the year. I just think it's super creative. I think this is a good movie to watch for people who want to make movies, because it shows you that you can think outside the box in multiple different ways and still make a really good movie for not $1 billion. Because in this genre, we've seen so much, right? Like, everything's been there, done that. And they do that. They use the been there, done that as a tool to do something different. And I think that's really smart. I think it's a good idea for indie filmmaking, which this does feel like an indie film, but the acting is definitely above average. Although, you know, this isn't an Oscar bait film, so they're not trying to be a serious drama. They're trying to be a comedy, and they do it really well. So I would say the acting is well above average and well worth watching. Whether you like the comedy in the film, I don't know. And there is some blood and gore in the movie, but I won't spoil how that happened. You're just gonna have to experience the what the fuck moments that I went through. Now, I would say that I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. I was leaning kind of like 7.5, 8. But I think it deserves an 8. You could be less, or you could be more than me. I mean, it really just depends. But I think people will mostly be pleased. I think it's a really good time, and I think it'll be a good watch for you and your friends. It's just a solid film. Now, as far as like movies that it might be kind of like to give you a better idea, there really isn't that many, and there's only one that I can think of that is even anywhere near it, and it's this one, Found Footage 3D, which it's similar, but very different. Like, the lead up in the found footage, the making of the Patterson Project is much better at the lead up and sort of the delivery on a lot of the comedy, in my personal opinion. And I really like what they do creatively with how they end up at the end. And obviously there's some nods to some of the better found footage films in our history that this movie also pays homage to, I think, in a better way. So yeah, it's a better movie than that one in particular, which I like that movie, but this one, really, I'm just rooting for it, and I hope you guys like it too. But yeah, it's coming out this week on some of the theaters. I don't know. I think it's a limited release. At least is coming out on VOD on the 24th here in North America, and June 30th in the UK. If you are really interested in this concept and you are driven by my excitement and my talk about this, they provided me a link so that you could actually pre-order it. So if this is something that you feel pretty safe about and you want to go see and you just want to have it day one, I'll put a link down below for you. But I really hope this movie gets a physical release in the future. I'm not a big digital fan, but I know a lot of you guys are. But I got walls and walls of arguments that me and my girlfriend have about collecting. So let me know if this movie gets a release on physical, because I definitely want one. But yeah, guys, congratulations to everybody here. I am definitely going to check out their Et Tu film. I just like this thing. It's not the best movie I've seen all year, but it is a damn good one, and it deserves some credit here. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would really greatly love to hear what you think about this movie. If you've seen this movie, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it in the comments. Don't be that guy. Thank you guys so much for coming by. And remember, there is a monster under your bed, but there might be one in the attic. So if you start hearing thumping and stuff, pay attention. I hope you survive, and thanks for coming by. But as always, long live the void.